The following is a presentation of Studio Audrain, powered by the Mexico Ledger.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Mexico Ledger Saturday morning sports show live from Slumberland here in Mexico. I'm Matt Pilger, and my tag team partner over here, Jeremy Jacob, the sports editor for the Mexico Ledger. Really good night last night for high school football, but there was a little bit of NFL action going on last night, too, from Brazil. That didn't turn out so well for the Chiefs.
No.
They end up losing to the Chargers in that season opener, 27-21, 0-1 to start off the season, and we'll hope for better things. Also, Columbia is going to be jam-packed today because MU-KU border war. I know a lot of people are over there, but
Like first time in a while, right?
first time since 2011, I believe, there. So I know that Columbia is going to be jam-packed with people. And we'll look forward to a 2:30 kickoff for MU against KU, and of course beat KU. We have joining us first from the North Callaway High School, from North Callaway Thunderbird football, head coach Kevin O'Neill. Also in the house, Kellen Long and Collin Moore. I want to say good morning, guys.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So, yeah.
Glad to have you guys in here. 30-22 victory against Macon last night. You guys start off 2-0. Coach, tell us a little bit about last night's game, if you will.
Well, these guys seem to like to get my blood pressure up in the first half, and have to work on my halftime speeches, but I think they've gone well the last 2 weeks. The first week against South Callaway, we struggled a little bit offensively in the first half and then came out and played a great second half. And kind of the same thing last night. We struggled a little bit in the first half to get the ball moving and finish drives, but just proud of my players and how they responded in the second half.
Yeah, so correct me, you scored 30 straight points, to win that game last night?
We did in the second half. So we came out and had a big play early on in the second half. Wyatt Hayden had a long run to get our scoring going, and these guys just responded and played hard.
Yeah, I remember off the top of my head, Hayden, I believe, had 125 yards rushing, and the guy who's sitting right here, Collin Moore, had 124 yards rushing. It was a big night, running the ball against Macon, right?
Yeah, well, running the ball is what we do, and we're fortunate to have Collin and Kellen and Wyatt and Jaden Galbraith, and we could spread the ball around to a lot of different guys. And last night was Collin and Wyatt's turn to carry the load, and they did a great job.
Let's talk to you, Collin, a little bit about your season. You're a junior. You had a nice season last year. You're building on that this year. How have things been going for you so far?
They've been going really good. I feel like I really strive in the defensive side of things. I really like playing defense. But offense is really fun. I love that we have a bunch of guys we can get the ball to. But I love playing defense.
Yeah, and as far as sorry to interrupt, but defensively, you made a very key play in the game. I believe Jerry, Chop or Jerry Choppenhorse for the uninitiated. He told me that Macon recovered an onside kick, right, late in the game, when they're down 30-22, and then you made an interception, to seal the game around the 2-yard line.
Yep.
Right, so take us through that play and your reaction when you came up with that.
Well, I mean, saw the ball and we got it. Saw the play, made it.
Yep. That simple, huh?
Yes, sir.
But football come that easy to you?
Sometimes.
Don't let him be modest. Collin's worked very hard to get where he is, and he actually had 2 big turnovers last night. He had another one where he took the ball away from a receiver and ran down the field, and I think that was the score maybe to put us up. Was that the one that we ended up getting, or was that? So. Yeah. So 2 big turnovers. Both of these guys do a great job on the defensive and offensive side of the ball.
Kellen, tell us about your role on the team and what do you prefer, offense or defense?
I think I prefer defense more. Just fun around. You get to hit people more often than not. My season's been going pretty good, to be honest. Just here to play for the team and get some wins.
First year with North Callaway?
Correct.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about transferring in from another school, coming into the North Callaway football program.
I believe that was from Butler, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yep.
Transferring over here was probably one of the best decisions that my family and we have made, because the people over here are great, great teammates, great team bonding, nice people, great atmosphere to be around and play through, all that kind of things.
Whenever you play South Callaway, they call it the Kingdom Cup. Is there an actual trophy that you guys get to hold up at the end?
Yeah, it's the Callaway Cup is what they call it. But yep, we get a trophy at the end. It's been around for a while, and so
Displayed in the school?
it is displayed in the school. It's right at the front door right now. So
Right at the front door.
it is.
So you did. So not just like the trophy case, it has to be.
It's out on the table. Yep,
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
right.
Montgomery County next week. You guys 2-0. Montgomery County 1-1. They lost to Monroe City last night. Kind of your thoughts going into next week's game?
Yeah, so Montgomery County is going to be different than what they've been in the past. Coach Clay Camp has been there for a long time, and now they have a new head coach in Coach Smith, and so they're doing some things a little bit differently. They're running the ball. They're big up front. They got some good skill guys, and so we're going to have a great week of practice to prepare for them and hopefully come out and play a first half and a second half this Friday.
Yeah, and before we go, there's one thing I wanted to bring up. Since these two guys you brought along with you, like they also happen to be like, state caliber like wrestlers as well. Like Collin Moore's a state champion. Kellen was state medalist at like Butler. So like, so each of you, could you talk about how wrestling helps with football and vice versa, and like coach, how does it help to have like wrestlers on the team?
I feel like wrestling helps with the mindset. Wrestling's really tough. Everything you do is tough.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever that translates to football, it makes everything a lot easier because of how much you get pushed in wrestling.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah, I would agree with that. Mindset's a big part, just like last night when we had to respond after being down 14-0 at halftime and coming back and scoring 30 points in the second half. It just like helps relay how we respond, like because in a match you could like be down and then all of a sudden be up by a couple points and win the match. So.
Guys, want to say congratulations on the 2-0 start. Thanks for coming out and chatting with us this morning. We want to stay in contact with you as the season rolls along, and we'll have you out again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right. From North Callaway football, head coach Kevin O'Neill, also Kellen Long and Collin Moore as they go, and they're going to get ready for week number 3 as they're going to be on the road next week to Montgomery County. We're going to get set to bring in our next guest, and we do want to thank our sponsors. We're going to start off with our studio sponsor. As a matter of fact, Slumberland Furniture. Logan Ray has built this nice set here for us, and a big thanks to Slumberland, our studio sponsor.
Absolutely, yeah. And other sponsors that we have includes United Credit Union.
And the Weber family of pharmacies.
And Mexico School District.
And Arthur Center Community Health. We do want to mention that Arthur Center Community Health is going to be having a showing of a documentary of Hope and Recovery. It's Suicide Prevention Month in September, and they're going to be showing that September the 12th through the 14th. That's next weekend at the Mexico Cinema. And as a matter of fact, a young lady joining us right now, Ava Herron, she works out there at the cinema. That starts at 11 o'clock next weekend. Is that right?
Yes, it does.
All right. Very nice. That's not why we had Ava out here today, but we do appreciate you helping us out with that. Our next guests are from Mexico High School volleyball, and over here is Ava Herron, also assistant coach Becky Schaefer, and a senior here, Nevaeh Long, and welcome to the show, guys.
Hi, thank you.
Glad to have you all in here. Ava, we're going to start off with you a little bit. You're a senior as well. Talk a little bit about going into this senior year. All 4 years you played volleyball, correct?
Yeah, I have. So, we come into this season, we have 5 seniors this year, and so that's pretty much, as many girls as you need on a court. But, we all play different positions, or we all, kind of different positions, kind of the same. So I'm just glad that we're getting another year to play with people that we've played with for so long, and not just people we've started bringing underclassmen up, which has benefited so much. We have so many, younger people coming up who are just, really proving themselves and, showing up and showing out, and they're doing great this season, and I'm excited for the season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so as far as, you said being there all 4 years, and Nevaeh, how long have you?
All 4 years.
All 4 years as well? Okay, cool. Yeah, so when it comes to, for both of you, from where you started to, now, how has your role evolved or changed at all, since you've been with Mexico volleyball?
Well, coming in as a freshman, we had very strong seniors who were very leader. They were great leaders in our sport. And so evolving from then to now, I think I would consider myself a great leader, coming from not being a leader and then going and, slowly going, becoming a leader. And it's nice to be on the team.
Nevaeh, I want to talk to you because, why volleyball? Why choose volleyball? There's a lot of sports out there. What drew you to the sport of volleyball?
I think I saw the friendships being gained from volleyball when I first started, so I thought it was going to be a pretty good opportunity for me.
Are you glad that you've stuck with volleyball all 4 years?
Yeah, it's kind of really fun. Once you get the hang of it, it's a really fun sport.
Yeah, so be enjoying being one of those senior leaders as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
One thing about Nevaeh, when she started volleyball in 7th grade, she, quoting her mother, she's never played anything with a ball before. So she's a raw athlete.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Becky Schaefer, we were going to bring you in. You've been an assistant with the team for quite some time.
Yeah.
Last year, you guys had a quite the run. As a matter of fact, you nearly broke a school record in wins.
We tied it.
You tied it.
Okay. Which was about.
We tied the record. Well, not the record. We did not break the record. We were one game short of the record, but we hadn't had a season like last year since 2007.
I think.
Quite some time.
Close to 20 years since we'd had a season like we had last year. It was a good season.
So about how many wins was that again? Did you have?
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah,
So talk about this. How special that season was and the camaraderie of that team last year. Everybody can chip in on that one.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We, not just last year, but us every year, we are not super serious people. we are joking around at all times. If you see us out on the court, we are laughing. Winning or losing, we are laughing. And last year was so much fun. We just went through the season and laughing and having fun with each other the whole time. And especially with all the wins, it was just brought so much more energy than losing. Mm-hmm. And we were just we were winning, and we were just fed us the energy that we needed to keep going. And I think it was very beneficial. And I think it was really fun.
Nevaeh, same thoughts here?
Yeah, I think once we get on a roll this season, I think it'll be a lot more fun. But it already is. So.
Just getting started. I think you've only played 2 games so far. Is that right?
Yeah.
There is going to be a special game that's coming up this week on Wednesday. Tell us the date on that and tell us what's special about that.
Wednesday, 9/10. We got it as close as we could to 9/11. We will be honoring our first responders, our police, our highway patrol, our military, our veterans, all of our heroes. And we just thought that would be a fun thing to do. They get in free. We'll recognize them. And we just thought it was time we started doing some of these things like this and recognizing the people that, take care of us day in and day out. We got together and took a picture and made a flyer, and it's pretty sweet looking if you haven't seen it on. I mean, it really is. They did a really good job on that. So it's our way of giving back to the community and thanking the community for,
Absolutely.
for
That's
what
at
they do.
the Mexico High School.
It's at Mexico High School.
Who's your opponent?
North Callaway.
North Callaway. All right.
Just so happens.
And one of the things we're going to do is the girls can bring in pictures of anybody in any of those areas, and I believe we have asked North Callaway to bring theirs too, and kind of let them in on what we're doing that night too. So they're first responders, and we'll be recognized too. So
We definitely planned this at North Callaway on the same time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we want to wish you all the best of luck on your season, as it gets going. And, of course, Military and First Responders Appreciation Night coming up this week on Wednesday. Everybody go out and support. And thank you all so much for stopping by the Saturday morning sports show here on the Mexico Ledger set at Slumberland.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
us.
so much.
Thank you so much. Ava Herron, Becky Schaefer, Nevaeh Long, our guests this morning as they go and get set for this upcoming week. We want to once again go over our sponsors and thank them because our studio sponsor is Slumberland Furniture. Logan Ray built this set and Yeah.
Yeah, and also United Credit Union.
Weber Family of Pharmacies, they're always supporting local sports.
Mexico School District.
And Arthur Center Community Health, don't forget next weekend at the Mexico Cinema. They will, September the 12th through the 14th, starting at 11 a.m. It's free admission as they put on a documentary of hope and recovery for Suicide Prevention Month, which is September. Mm-hmm. And now we want to talk a little bit more football. And it was a good night at Hawthorne Heights last night as we bring in Mexico head coach Steve Haag. Just kind of the thoughts and the feelings of last night's victory over Southern Boone.
Well, I think, after last week, the challenge was, can we continue on that second half that we played at Centralia? And I think the boys did that, came out, and I thought we played really well. Defensively, I thought we moved the ball well in the first half, other than putting the ball on the ground a couple times. We were able to move it, and I thought we were very physical. And I was just happy on that first half that we just continued on of how we played in that second half the week before. And then coming out after halftime, you're wanting to get going, and we were able to, right there after half, score a touchdown and make it 21-0, and just continue to play tough defense. They scored once, but had a great goal line stand in that second half, and made them have to earn their yards. And so I thought physically, just learning from that first week, improving all those things. I was just really happy with what I saw last night.
Yeah, you had a hell of an offensive day. I mean, you have the numbers right in front of you here, but
419 yards on offense is what I was looking at. So yeah, the offense kind of broke through several folks. James Matthews is something to watch out there. He kind of got your opening drive up and going with a big 65-yard gain. Talk a little bit about James. It's his first year on the football team.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I tell anybody, if you're a good athlete, I think you'll be good in a sport that you'll try. I know some unique sports out there, but James is a good basketball player, good athlete, and so if you get on the football field, you're probably going to be a pretty good football player, and he does a good job. I think the surprising thing about it is he wants to get in there and be physical. He's not a very big kid, so you're kind of like you don't know how physical you're going to be, but he'll get in there and he'll mix it up. That reverse there is just something we've kind of in the off season kind of talked about. Went to some clinics and heard a guy talk, and he said, I always put a reverse in early just to keep people honest and make them think. And if you watch that play, we run that ball to the right, and all of Southern Boone's defense heads that way. And when he gets the pitch, there's nobody there. Yeah. And of course, makes a great run, gets down to like the 5-yard line. But the rest of the game, we tried it again just to see, keep him honest, and everybody stayed. So that keeps the defense from flowing so hard to our option, because when we go in motion, you'll see those guys like Zero, the Edsley kid who was a stud for them defensively. When we motioned that first time, he took off sprinting from the right side of the defense to the left, and so you can't do that once you do a reverse like that. You got to stay home, and so that's a great play to open up with. I think that gives us not just the yardage and it sets us up for a touchdown, but it makes the defense be honest, so that now we can run the ball both sides without people trying to cheat us.
Yeah, so switching to somebody else who keeps defensive honest way, he can change direction. Drew DeMint was leading rusher, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, including one where I talked to him after a game. I called it kind of like an adventure, because he was about 10 yards out or something like that, about halfway to the goal, a 24-yard run. He stopped for a momentarily and broke a tackle, and then he was able to take it the rest of the way.
Yeah, and that's just the learning thing from a couple new plays we put in, and that inside play where he ran and scored that touchdown, and kind of went right and left a lot and got vertical. He ran it inside, and we preach about that. And sometimes running backs don't like to run in there, but he got about 3 yards inside, and then he cut it out. Which is fine, and so he took what the defense gave him, and of course he's been a good back for us for this being his third year, and he's a physical kid, and so I don't have I love seeing those runs, but I know he can do it, and I've seen him before, and so and I know he likes to do it. So it's just the way we play the game of football, and so and the best thing about it is that as we talked last week about hey, protect that ball when you're out there against those people and you're getting ready to be physical, and he did that last night, and so that's a good thing too as well.
Yes, being physical and liking contact. I also remember a play where he ran over a defender as well. So he likes contact for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's such and people. And people don't understand that that's everybody likes the head fakes and the spin moves and all that stuff, but if you're a physical guy, that's a whole nother move as well, because if you're going to go tackle somebody like that, then you've got to be ready to take a hit. And so sometimes they'll shy away, or sometimes, I can show you plays where guys just don't run as hard because they don't want to go tackle that person. And that's always good too. And we're blessed to have, a few backs that like to do that. And so any back we give it to, I feel like they're going to lower their shoulder and try to be physical with guys. And they've been finding the holes, and I've just been real happy with the play up front and opening those holes for those guys and our guys running through them.
Kind of highlighting the offensive performances from last night. Connor Fisher, 28 yards, 1 touchdown. Corbin Dorsey, 72 yards and a touchdown. Charlie Fisher, 41 yards on the ground. He also was 1 of 4 and 49 yards through the air. So, as we said, 419 yards of offense. It has to feel pretty good. Kind of your thoughts from week 1 to week 2 on how your team has grown.
Well, I think we've put 6 good quarters of football together. I don't think the first 2 were great against Centralia, and we came out that second half and learned a lot, and we played good football. The biggest challenge is, can you continue to put it together? Consistency is such a huge deal when you start talking about it. If your best and your worst are close together, then the middle, is close to your best, and we want to make sure that we are consistent. And I think we were pretty consistent from that second half to this Southern Boone game. Linebackers, I think they were a little bit on their heels at Centralia. They were coming downhill last night, and those young guys doing that, learning, knowing that we've got to get on our lines and make tackles, I think was a big benefit, especially against the Shear quarterback who really did a good job running the football and containing him. And he got his yards, but, he never really broke really big runs, and, that's what you want to do, make them earn their yards, and I thought we did that last night.
Yeah, speaking of that last point, the Shear, a couple of defensive notes, Drew DeMint and Corbin Dorsey had each had an interception, but Leighton Hilderman made a key stop at the goal line in the third quarter.
Beast mode.
Beast mode.
Yeah. Well, and it's great because you go through a wave of emotions, because we made 2 good stops and we get an unsportsmanlike call and it goes half the distance, and then you're kind of like, oh man, we're doing so good, and then you go back on that high because then they're going, we make that stop there, and coming out of that end zone, I wasn't real happy with how we handled that. So that's one of the things we're going to get back on the drawing board about this week. But I was just our guys. Leighton is just he's always been good. He's a grinder. He doesn't say anything, which is kind of uncommon for this generation of kids, and he makes a lot of plays. And so he's been one of the good ones for us.
You guys, your defense had 5 scoreless quarters, starting from the Centralia game last week into the fourth quarter of last night. I bring that up because your opponent next week is Odessa, and they're a pretty high-powered offense.
Yeah, state ranked too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you feel like your team matches up with Odessa?
Well, we saw a little bit of film because of the Southern Boone. They're really good up front. I remember 2 years ago I was looking at their nose guard, who was a sophomore, and he was good, and now he's a senior. And they brought along some other defensive linemen with him, which are pretty physical. So they're going to come off the ball. This will be our biggest challenge up front yet, and they've got some speed. And they're typically traditionally a good football town. Their kids grow up, they want to play football, and so we've experienced that playing them the last 3 years, and this will be the last year we play them in the rotation, and but they've got a new coach. I know they'll probably spread us out a little bit more but they get after the football from what we've seen, and so this will be a big challenge. Our schedule doesn't get any easier, and our guys know that, and our guys know that I want to test us because, knock on wood, if we can stay healthy and we can test ourselves, we'll get better. And by the time we get to district play in week 10, I think we'll be a real good football team.
That's the Bulldog Bowl, by the way. Bulldogs just Bulldogs.
Jeremy just made it up. We'll have to have the trophy made now.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. I want to wish you the best of luck next week back at Hawthorne Heights at home. 1-1 now, evened up the record, and of course MUKU today. Any predictions there?
I don't know. We were talking about. I was talking to that with my son Deacon, and how I think Mizzou wins it. I like Leipold at Kansas. He's done a lot of good things as a head football coach at lower levels and has been successful. And I think he's doing a good job at at KU. They're 2-0, and I think the biggest thing about it is that I worry about does Leipold and does Drinkowitz really understand the rivalry? Mm-hmm. Because when we grew up, when I grew up and I went to Mizzou. And I grew up in a small town that had a great rivalry as well. But when I grew up, and it was always MUKU. It was always MUKU. And it's one of those things where it can make or break you. You could have a bad season going and you could beat the rival, and everybody's like, oh, it's great. Yeah. Or you could have a really good season going and you lose to the rival. And so, but sometimes coaches like to play that stuff down, and Drinkowitz and Leipold's never really been part of that. And I heard Leipold interviewed on a radio show, and he goes, I was kind of naive. I came in here and I was penciling K-State, because it's Kansas K-State, in-state rivalry. And then all these alums came up to me, and they were like, you're crazy. It's all about, Missouri. And he goes, I didn't realize how much hatred there was for Missouri. And so, that's, and sometimes they try to downplay it, and they don't know how big it is to the boosters and everybody else, because they just haven't been around it like a lot of people growing up. So hopefully they've instilled that in their guys that, hey, this is huge. This is a big game. No matter if it's week 2 or week 3 or week 10, it's a big game for us.
2:30 kickoff this afternoon. We will have an 8:30 kickoff for the Saturday morning sports show next Saturday. I want to thank head coach Steve Haag.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yep.
Jeremy Jacob.
Yep.
Appreciate you. I'm Matt Pilger, and this has been another edition of the Mexico Ledger Saturday morning sports show live from Slumberland.